welcome to Northrup on the Short Porch. I'm Chris Northrup for Pinstripe Chronicles. With me today is a very special guest, Nicole Aslin, a Red Sox fan. But no, we forgive her for that. No, I'm kidding. I'm just kidding. John, welcome, and thank you for joining us. We appreciate that. I don't know if you're still there. I noticed you logged in at 7:55, but if you join us, welcome. Hopefully, we'll get some other folks as we go along. But Nicole, I wanted to just say a few things before I turn it over to you to kind of give us a little more. Nicole's a minor league mystery baseball writer, and you have cozy mysteries in your profile. You're a cat lady, love that, and
Correct.
a Red Sox lover, obviously. And she also has a podcast called Baseball, Books, and Banter. And she has been doing this for what? Did you tell me 6 years or
Yeah, I
a
started
number
it
of
like
years?
after 2020. So I would say yeah, maybe 4 or 5 years. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't track my seasons. I just make it up. Hope for the best.
Right. Tell us where do you want to start with your Red Sox fandom or your mystery writing and
They
your
kind of go
combining
hand.
talent?
Yeah, I think they kind of go hand in hand.
Yeah.
So I am a woman of a certain age at this point, and I live outside of Boston. Currently, right now, I'm in a hotel room in Lehigh Valley, Pennsylvania, for um, uh, what are they called? The Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs AAA game. They're doing a Love at the Ballpark night with a bunch of romance baseball authors. And I was like, can I bring my little mystery in there too? And they were like, yes. We're a little worried because it's not great weather. So I'm hoping it doesn't get canceled
Right.
regardless. But yeah, so I live right outside of Boston. My family is from Connecticut originally, which Chris and I talked about a little bit, but we were central Connecticut. My parents were raised there. And at the time, you could only get the Yes Network on TV, but my grandfather was from New Hampshire and Canada. So they were always in the New England mindset. So we would go on summer breaks and we would listen to the Red Sox on the radio with my grandfather,
Yep.
or at the time, he would not watch Yes, that's full stop. No. But at the time, the Braves were on TBS a lot too. So he'd watch the Braves, which Boston Braves, kind of it fits. So we kind of grew up in the Red Sox fandom, and
Yeah.
even my dad was in the Navy, so we've lived across the country. Luckily, never Oconus, just or not off country, but we did live in Hawaii and California, but we carried our fandom with us. So
Mhm.
you'll find pictures from the 80s of us in like Hawaii and California, my mom in a Red Sox apron or my brother in a Red Sox hat. And it's just kind of, it's been part, and I think Yankee fans are like this as well, where I feel like there's more in common. We have more in common than we
Right.
do have differences. And yes, we hate each other, but like a majority of us can live with each other.
Right.
So yeah,
Well,
so I
and I
grew up.
think your description of your fandom translates across any team with the deep history that
Oh,
these clubs
100%.
have, and
Especially these older teams like the Yankees, the Red Sox,
and the Red Sox, right?
right, like the
They're
teams
so
that are the Cubs,
entrenched,
right.
right?
You grew up in the town. It was the only game in town in the
Yeah,
middle of the summer. So like, what else are you gonna do when you're like baking in the heat? Let's
right.
go to a baseball game. And it just kind of, and of course, as a kid, you play t-ball, and so you kind of feel like part of the experience. So I've lived all over. I ended up coming back to New England to go to college, and now I'm just here forever, and I love it. And so that translated into I went to a mystery book conference because I was looking for something to do, and I love to read. And the one person just asked, and they said, "What would you like to write?" And I was like, "Man, nobody's ever asked me that before." And I would write a baseball mystery because, like, first of all, we all know there are plenty of ways you can get hurt, killed, maimed at a ballpark. Like, alcohol not included, but like,
Right.
It
Both
could
as
happen.
a fan and as a player.
Exactly. And there's a lot of politics in baseball, as we all know. Like,
Yeah.
um, the Red Sox have gone through some of it this season. And so I was like, yeah, I want to do that, but I don't want to murder people at Fenway Park because I want them to let me come visit still. And so I ended up inventing a minor league team in the town I live in, Abington, and it's been really fun because it's a lot of wish fulfillment. Like if I were a baseball owner, so it's a family owned team. A young woman goes back to work for her family. Um, Shenanigans ensue. There's a love interest, so there's a little bit of love, but it's a cozy in that you're not. It's not super violent. It's not graphic.
Right.
There is a dead body, but you're not watching them get bludgeoned. Like it's palatable. And then yeah, so that's kind of where that came from. And now I'm in the midst of writing the fourth book in that series. So it's been really fun, and
Right.
I get to. And I don't think we talked about this when we talked before. One of my favorite things to do is when I am having a down moment with my team and they're ticking me off. I like to
Yeah.
write that into the book. So like recently, I got really and I hope I don't offend everybody on this call. I really hate analytics and and math and
Okay.
statistics like that. So I wrote all about the nerds.
Right.
They're Driveline, but not Driveline. So I'm sorry if you work for
Okay.
Driveline, but I
Yeah.
feel like they had a bad rap up here in Boston for a while.
You
So
took your revenge on the nerds.
they're in the nerd. So I'm like these math nerds, and then it's also kind of funny in the book that's coming out hopefully in September. I talk about the ABS system. When I wrote it, the ABS system wasn't in the majors yet; it was only in the
Okay.
minors. So when you read the book, you're like, oh wait, this has been around for. I mean, I feel like it's been around forever, and it's still
Right.
just the first season. We're so used to it now. So it's kind of fun
Yeah.
to be able to put my frustrations, um, my fandom. It is very heavily Red Sox uh, focused. There's three cats in the book, as most cozy mysteries have pets, and they're
Right.
Dewey, Petey, and Poppy, which are my three favorite players. So you kind of you do
Right.
what you love, and that's kind of what I wanted to do with those. And so the plan is for 6 books. We'll see what happens after that.
That's fantastic. Now
Yeah.
tell us, how can we find your books? Can we go to Amazon or?
I'm glad you asked. At this moment, you can go to my website,
Okay.
nicoleaslanwriter.com. I have copies. My new publisher is going to be reissuing the first two in the series along with the third one.
Okay.
I don't have a date for that yet, but I,
Right.
I do sell e-copies. So if you're a Kindle reader or
Right.
Kobo or however you read, just shoot me an email and it's on my website.
Oh my gosh, that's fantastic. You guys,
Yeah.
if you love to read and you love reading baseball, anything about baseball, which I do, check out Nicole's Baseball
Yeah.
Mysteries. Yeah, it's a niche, and there is another website, Glove Actually, that also explores the relationship between writing and baseball. So that's another option if you're interested in reading more about baseball. Now, give us a few of your handles. Are you on Instagram?
Yeah.
Um,
So if you go onto
how can we?
Facebook, oh, go
Okay.
ahead. Oh, I'm
No, I was
sorry.
just going to say, how do we find you?
So on Facebook, I have a author, pretty much my author page, which is called Nicole's Starting Lineup. That's my
Okay.
that's where I put a lot of my book news. You can also sign up for my newsletter on my website,
Okay.
nicoleaslanwriter.com. On Threads, I don't know what I'm on Threads now. I think it's Nanazlin. It's
Right.
Nanazlin.
Okay.
That's also my Instagram. And then on
Okay.
TikTok, I am Nicole Aslan writer or
Okay.
author. I used to be Nicole Aslan 38, and because that was when I started the TikTok, that was my age. But then I thought people might think it's in honor of Kurt Schilling, and like, thanks for what you did,
Oh.
but it's not anymore.
Oh, that's
He-
an interesting
yeah,
sideline.
yeah, that's
Oh,
a little side
wow.
note. Like now, the Kurt Schilling of 2006, but it wasn't because of that. It was just because that's how old I was.
Right, Kurt Schilling, the gift that keeps on giving to the
Oh,
Red
God.
Sox nation.
Good
Hey,
Lord.
Healing Men's Hearts has joined the chat, and he says Red Sox are definitely winning the upcoming series. What kind of fan are you? Wait a minute.
I
Wouldn't
feel
be
like that's
shocked if
reverse
they.
psychology.
Yeah, it's reverse psychology. They it wouldn't be shocked if they sweep the Yankees. Red Sox have better pitching and a better offense, 20 points better in team batting average. Well, this is exactly what we've come here to talk about. So
Hmm.
it's a nice little transition you've given us there, but healing men's hearts, you need to have some faith in the Yankee universe. I'm severely disappointed. I mean, I think they could win at least two out of the four games.
Like I was looking back because I did research for this, and it is funny how it was Yankee sweep, split, Red Sox sweep. So if we think like in that terms, a
Right.
split could be on the table. And
Yeah.
honestly, that's not the worst thing. I mean, obviously, I want to sweep as a Red Sox fan, but
Right.
I'm also realistic, and they lost to the Marlins last night in very bad fashion. So, like, I'm
Oh,
okay with a split. I will say, Mr. Healing Man's Hearts, Men's Hearts, Mrs. They, the pitching, I think, leans towards the Yankees in this particular series.
yeah.
With when we had exchanged starting pitchers, and I know that's what
Yeah,
you want
we
to get
have
into.
some idea. We can talk a little bit. But I wanted to start out first. I know you guys are hot to talk about the rivalry, but I want to start out a little bit with a little background on the AL East because the picture is as clear as mud. Actually, as far as the playoffs go, except for the Rays, they lead the
Yeah,
division, and everyone else is trying to catch up. The Yankees were trying to catch up. We're 3.5 games back. Red Sox 6 games back. The series coming up. Wow, it's going to be a sweep. Would really be a swamp. The the other team. So I think the rivalry is going to be a bit heated this weekend. It's going to be a dogfight
mm-hmm.
because these records are the division is at stake and can still
Yeah,
be had, basically. Um,
crazy. Like if you had told me in May
oh
the
yeah,
Red Sox would be in play for the division, I would have been like, "You've lost your damn mind."
yeah.
I am a fan, but I'm also realistic. And then July happened, and I'm like, "Oh, it's in play."
Oh,
Oh, okay.
yeah. Well, in May, they were the laughing stock of the league. It was absolutely
Hmm.
horrifying. Um,
Hmm.
hello, Sunil. Boston will be swept back down to the dirty water dumpster they are. All right. Well, thanks for getting the trash talking started. Appreciate that. Anyway, the AL has only 5 teams above 500, and three of them are in the AL East. I mean, the whole AL, American League, has only 5 teams, and three of them are. So we're the toughest division,
Hmm.
and I think that bodes well for whoever eventually comes out of it.
Yeah, I agree.
On the one hand, but um, the Yankees and the Red Sox have the two top wild card spots all but locked up.
Hmm.
And we may as well throw a dart for the third wild card spot
Yeah.
because, Cleveland, Texas, Toronto, all these, very close 65 and 64 wins. Minnesota, Baltimore, 63, and Mariners and Tigers not mathematically out of it. So no
Right.
one's been eliminated yet. So
And I don't
the
know, as a
yeah,
Yankee fan, because I know as a Red Sox fan, none of those teams strike the fear of
right,
God in me. Like I feel like those are all beatable teams. So if any of them squeak in, you're like, that's
right.
fine. I really do think it's the Red Sox Yankees that are
I
going to
do
be
too. The Blue Jays are the only team, and they're the only team. I found this interesting. Without a remaining game against an opponent above 500
that must be nice.
as of August 24th. So the Blue Jays, I don't
Have a
know,
chance.
they have 64 wins. I mean, they have the easiest schedule. So they're still not gone. They're in
No.
play also. The
Hmm.
Orioles, they have a very tough schedule as far as down the stretch. That they play the Brewers, Blue Jays, and Yankees, and they really have to turn it on to make the
Yeah,
third wild card. I
yeah.
mean, their chances are not very good. So
No.
it's really, as you said, Nicole, it's really going to be the Red Sox Yankees
And
for
then
the
one other
for
team.
the
Right.
top two at least.
Yeah, agreed.
No team below 500 over the course of a full season has received a playoff berth until this year, probably. So
Because
that's
everybody's
an interesting stat in and of itself.
bad.
There are absolutely no teams above 500 in the AL West. I couldn't believe that, but there's no teams above
Gosh.
500 in the AL West. The Astros are below 500, and I think
Well, they deserve it. But
yeah, they do. We're going to beat up on them tonight just to prove it a little more.
good. Thank you.
Uh,
Please do. Yeah. When
yeah,
in doubt.
more beating up on the Astros tonight.
Yeah.
Sunil says the only good thing about Boston took place all the way back 40 years ago when Bill. All right, we're
We,
getting into the. We're going
but
to get sidetracked by the trash
we,
talk.
we've forgiven him. So all's forgiven with love here. He's come back several times and gotten cheers. Like we all know it's baseball. So like
It's baseball,
I don't want to
and
quote your shirt, but schlit
right.
happens, right?
Schlit
So
happens, exactly. Oh yeah, I forgot to point out, chat. I've got a new Schlit shirt, total Schlit show. I'm loving this thing. Um, all
I will
right,
say
so the
though, just
Yankees odds. Oh, I'm sorry. What'd you
oh, I was
say?
just going to say, just a note about Cam Schlittler.
Oh, sure.
He says he's from Boston, but he's really from Walpole. Don't let him fool you. He's from 30 minutes south of the city. He's not a Bostonian.
Okay.
He's essentially Foxborough at this point, which is almost in Rhode Island. So I just want to
Okay,
throw that
gotcha.
out there.
So really, he deserves to be a
I mean,
Yankee.
he's fine. He can do whatever he wants then. I don't
Oh,
blame
well,
him.
okay,
Yeah.
gotcha. And the chat pointed out he's also a cat person.
Which,
Um,
okay, his one
yeah, so
redeeming
he's
quality.
you can't hate on him all the way.
No.
The Yankees' odds of winning the AL East are less than 30%.
Ooh.
But they just gained 3.5 games,
Mhm.
over the in a week. So anything's still possible. And the Red Sox, I mean, totally, and can do anything at this point as well. Um, the Yankees and Rays go head to head in the final week of the season at Yankee Stadium.
Oh,
It's harsh. It's going to
oh.
be harsh.
I feel like
So,
that's happened in seasons past where it comes down to the division between the top two in the
right,
AL East a lot. Like I feel like we either play the Yankees a lot or the Rays a lot right in that last season. I will say I think we play
right.
the Orioles. It's a nice palate cleanser at the end of the season. But
Exactly.
yeah, they
Well,
always seem to play and it always seems to matter.
why is the AL East always like this? It's always a big, it's always a dogfight, as I
Yeah,
say.
because they're
Just
good. Well, relatively.
yeah. But look at the AL West, and you can't understand why that doesn't work out there.
Nope.
What's this? The Yankees do differently. I don't know, but oh, all right. So for the series that's coming up, Red Sox have one of the things that has been keeping Red Sox even from May till July, as you mentioned, was the pitching. Their
Mhm,
pitching didn't let them down.
mhm.
Would you
But
say that's true?
that is fair, and I
Yeah,
think they it would have things could have been even worse if the pitching was bad. Like I think we
right.
lucked out with a lot of these young pitchers, and I think they also don't have the baggage that some of our older pitchers had, and I think that helped them kind of just want to play to be the best. I will say it does seem in the past week or so that some of them have kind of fallen back to earth a little bit.
Yeah,
They're still great, and don't get me wrong. I think our bullpen is stronger now than it was,
right.
and it was good in the beginning of the season, but I think it's much stronger now, and we're going to get Whitlock back, um, which is a big addition. And I think for this Red Sox Yankees series especially, so Jake Bennett is going to go on Saturday, right? Oh, Sandoval's tomorrow, and
Sandoval's tomorrow.
he's serviceable. I mean, he's coming back
Okay.
from an injury, and he's been good, but he's also not. Cam
Well,
Schlitter good?
exactly. And a little background on Sandoval. He last pitched in 2024 for the Angels.
Hmm.
Right. And he just returned in July from a 2 year rehab. What is
Hmm.
he? Stanton? 2 year rehab stint from elbow surgery. That was a terrible
It's
thing to see.
scary. It's scary because and he honestly he's been like I said serviceable. Like he's about like a 3 or 4 ERA, not like not great, but not horrific. Not Brian Bayo at the beginning of the season, like horrific.
Yeah.
And I think that's you do. We all need that. We all need like I'm a player. Like your team needs to fill in with those guys. You can't all be
Right.
aces. You can't all be 1
Garrett
point
Whitlock
whatever.
or
Yeah, exactly. So I do think he's proven himself the last couple of months or weeks that he's pitched, but I wouldn't call him an ace. And I think the hard part will be if and we'll talk about this later, the offense getting to Cam Schlittler early again, like they did in this last series,
right.
because otherwise it'll be a pitcher's duel, and that's not good for either of us and our
Right.
stress levels.
Oh God, yes. And Sandoval, I think with him, it's going to be a matter of watching the pitch count
Yes,
because he is coming back,
right.
he's working up from his rehab. He's probably, I know he was on a pitch count. I don't know
Yeah,
what, if he's beyond that now.
he has to
But
be. Yeah.
if Yankee hitters can run up the pitch counts, that'll be in their favor against Sandoval. Is Sonny Gray going to pitch? No, I don't. Sonny Gray, I don't
He
think
pitched
is.
last night, and
Yeah, last night he's not
it
on.
wasn't great. I mean, it was
Yeah,
okay. Again, it was okay. Not
and
great. He had bad defense behind him, but
yeah, and of course, Yankee fans, we love Sonny, so
yeah.
Sonny we love to hate, so to speak.
Yes.
And also, it seems like in his last outing versus the Giants, Sandoval kept him in the game, though. I
Hmm.
mean, he
Yeah.
struggled a little bit, but he keeps his head above water.
100%, and that's why he's serviceable because
Exactly.
he doesn't lose you the games, but he's not going to
Right.
win you the games. I don't think, and I feel bad saying that because he seems like a good guy, but like I don't. In a high leverage situation, he wouldn't be my choice. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. What about if we team him up with Schlittler? Schlittler, I mean, I'm not going to spit a bunch of Schlittler numbers at
Yeah.
anybody because I mean, everybody knows, the Yankee fans know what Schlittler's done,
Okay, I think
and
everybody does. Yeah,
everybody does. Isn't I mean, he's got what a 2.16 ERA.
I
He's
candidate. Like,
Cy Young candidate. He's vying for that with Dylan Cease at the moment, I think. Although I wonder, where does Missouriowski fit into that picture? I
mm,
don't know about that. Um, anyway, so Schlittler, it's anybody's guess
right.
on Friday whether. I mean, the Red Sox offense scares me.
Yeah.
It's gotten scary. Would you say that's somewhat true?
Yes, because who the heck is Mickey Gasper just hitting home run? He's 30 years old, career guy in the minors. I think I heard on the radio, I listened to Boston radio the whole drive down yesterday to get ready for this because I was like, oh, we need, but mainly, and
Right.
we've talked about the Roman Anthony and seeing when he's going to come back because all our guys are starting to get healthy. But
Yeah,
Mickey Gasper before this season only hit like 2 home runs, and now he's had 5 in the
I
last week.
know.
And
And
it's like,
where did he
who are
come
you?
from? Right,
Right. Like we all knew him as a fill-in guy for like last year towards the end of the season,
right.
but he's just I love it because he has the mustache and he looks like a detective from a novel. Like he's just very that and he's a little older. So I feel like that's what makes the offense scary is you don't know who's gonna give it to you. You know the Williers, you know the
Right.
Contrerases. They're gonna give you some good hits, but then Mickey's gonna give you it. Tony Siegler is going to just all of a sudden
See,
do a triple, and it's like, what? Who?
yeah,
Again, I was very down on
ex-Yankee.
Craig. Yep, and then I was very down on Craig Breslow at the beginning, or GM at the beginning of the season, and mea
Yeah,
culpa. I think if you listen to my podcast in the first couple of months of this year. It was like the Red Sox are really mad, and I hate Craig Breslow. I'm taking that back, walking it back a
Okay.
little.
Okay.
His mid-season trade, Caleb Durbin, turned out to be great. So I think that's what makes the offense scary is you don't know who's going to do it.
Right.
They just have to do it,
They
and
just do it.
the consistency part that doesn't scare me. That scares me as a Red Sox fan, not as a fan of another team. I'm scared that they don't have the consistency.
Right. I think that what they've done in the second half has
Yeah.
certainly been consistently
I know
surprising.
that's the other thing, and I think that's the Boston fan in me. I'm like, I don't. Do I trust
Right.
it? Like you
Yeah,
don't.
yeah,
And
exactly.
I'm sure Yankee fans feel this way too sometimes, where you're like, something's got to happen. Maybe
Yeah,
not.
no, but
Maybe
Cub
it's the wrong
fans do, and
thing.
I grew up a Cub fan,
Right.
which Cub fans have a lot in common with Red Sox
Well,
fans.
during the last, we had a 5 game losing streak, and you would have thought it was this April all over again on Sports Talk Radio. Everybody's like, if they lose 6, it's all over. We're not even.
Yeah.
Nope, the 6 is going to be the number. I can't do it. And it did feel like that. You got nervous because you're like, is this them coming back down to earth because they had such
Right.
meteoric? And no, it it's been nice.
Oh, it has. I'm sure as a Red Sox fan, you
Yeah,
never expected the turnaround.
no, a
I mean,
hundred
you certainly
percent no.
expected them to improve, but not this.
Exactly,
All
exactly.
right, what about Jake Bennett? It looks like he's pitching the first game of the
Yeah,
doubleheader
I think
tomorrow. I
yeah.
did
So
not know that name, so I had to do some
yep,
research.
he's a younger guy.
And he
Came
was out with
over
Tommy John, right? And that's
right,
probably why I
exactly.
didn't know him because he hasn't been around a
He didn't
lot.
play, and I think he came in a mid-season trade. Don't quote me on that, guys. Like, sorry, but he was another Craig Breslow guy that came in, and his last game, they seem to have, and this was Bayo's problem too. They have really bad first innings, and you get nervous, and you're like, oh no, they're going to fall
Yeah,
apart. But then they sort of calm down, and so I don't know if that's a nerves jumpy thing. So he's one of those guys that stresses you out for like the first inning and a half, and
yeah.
then he just strikes out the side,
Then he
and
just gets down to work.
exactly. So I think I don't know if he has ever pitched in the high level because I think this series in New York is like a different animal because we had the one in the first Yankee Stadium when they were bad and got swept. Then they had the split
Right,
and then they had the sweep up in New England. But I think being in Yankee Stadium as one of these younger guys who maybe hasn't pitched in it before, I think that's going to be an interesting to see if they
right,
can keep the mental thing. And that would be my concern with Jake Bennett because he's also, I think
right.
he's similar to Sandoval in that he had a little bit of an innings restriction
Okay,
because like all of the guys they've played
right,
minors, they haven't had to pitch
right,
all these innings. So I'd be intrigued to see how long he
right.
goes in that game. And I guess it depends on if he gets hit around, what they do
Right.
with that.
Well, I
And
guess
what
he
they're gonna do for that
I'm
second
sorry.
game, because I was going to say that, and really, what are they going to do for the second game? So if they have to use the bullpen in the first game, they're not going to have a heavy bullpen for the first game of the doubleheader, and then they got to save it for
Right,
because they don't have a pitcher yet, and nobody's game planning it.
right.
So you're almost like,
Would you think it could be someone like
oh,
Brian,
Bayo,
Brian, what,
yep,
how do you say his last name?
Bayo,
Bayo? Looks like Bello, but
it does.
Bayo. Okay.
Yeah,
Do
I
you
think
think
that's
he could be a possibility?
100%. I would be interested because his problem at the beginning of the season was he had really bad first innings
Yeah,
and then went 7 after that. And you're like,
I remember that.
why did you give up 10 runs in the first inning? You can strike him. So they sent him down to Worcester, which is the affiliate, and he got his head back on straight. He was back in the day when he was signed, he was called the mini Pedro because they thought he had Pedro like stuff. So
Right.
Pedro Martinez has always been a mentor for him, and he's actually been involved
Okay.
in his development. So he talks to Brian Bayo and
Okay.
finds out where his head's at. So I think he's in a better headspace. Obviously, I don't know him, so
Right.
Now they've been using an opener for him, so 1 inning, and then he comes in and he's
Right.
nailed for like 8 innings. I think
Okay.
that's what they're going to do. I'd be interested to see if they maybe throw him in as a starter to see if
Yeah.
he's can get over that mental hump on that
Right.
second. And I think it all depends on if they win or lose the first two games. If it's like a
I was just
split,
gonna say, do you really want to find out in the
right?
first inning against the Yankees?
Especially if we've lost the previous two games. No,
Exactly. When
100%.
when the Yankees are on the hunt.
Exactly.
Um, yeah, some things I found out about Jake Bennett. He had Tommy John surgery, missed all 24. He's been a key pillar of the rotation, from what
Yep.
I understand. He's 8-6, so he's won some
Serviceable.
games.
Hmm.
Yeah. He had 9 consecutive starts with 3 or fewer runs in at least 5 innings pitched, but he struggled a little lately.
Yeah, and I think that's the innings pitched.
Right.
Like that's because he's pitched so many more innings than he's used to pitching.
Right. And the Yankees have enough trouble getting hits.
Yeah.
So I was thinking about that. If he was, 3 or fewer runs, if he's on that streak, that won't be a good day for us.
Right. Right. And I don't
Because you
know
know
if
how we have trouble getting runs. Oh my God. Yankee hitting has been, well, we'll get into it, but it's
yeah.
been frustrating to say the least. Um, All right, what's Sunil? Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Sunil's got his own conversation, I think, going
A
on over
lot
there.
of good trash talk in there.
Yeah, a lot of stuff, but that's Sunil. He's a good fan, a good
Good.
friend of ours.
That's the way to do it.
The last pitcher that we know will be pitching in the series, I think, is Ranger Suarez.
It is, yep.
Yeah, and he's just off IR too, right?
This guy.
Recently, or like in the last,
Yeah, I think he's
yeah, it
started.
was a month ago now.
Yeah, I was gonna say 2 or 3 times since he came off the IR.
Okay, okay,
And it's been like 5 or 6 innings. Like it's not, he doesn't go length,
okay.
which makes me nervous. Um,
Okay.
because he has a lot of those where if the defense isn't on their game and the offense isn't hitting, he might struggle. And he's a fun guy too. Like they're all my best friends.
Yeah.
So I love them all. Um, but I know when he was with the Phillies, he was more of a playoff pitcher, they said.
Oh,
So a lot of the sports talk radio is like maybe he's trying to get all the kinks out now to get ready for the playoffs. So I think in this series particularly, Yankees have the pitching advantage. It'll all depend on the two offenses
right,
and if they hit and whoever makes the least amount of errors behind their
right.
pitcher.
Well, I mean, the Yankees may have. I mean, we know we have Schlittler going tonight, and I think Cole on Sunday. I don't think they are. I think. Well,
They
maybe not. No, no.
they keep
I don't.
talking about
I
Max.
don't. I think that the rest of the pitching has been to be determined.
Yeah, I
Um,
know that I was
I
reading
don't
an
know why I
article on
thought Cole all of a sudden.
which is the New England Sports Network up here, and they are speculating Freed on Saturday night.
Freed on Saturday because he's coming off the
Right.
IR.
Because
Right.
his elbow or something.
Yep, yep, from elbow inflammation. So, um, now just a few things that I know about Ranger Suarez to run by you. Um, in his recent outing versus Miami, he had walks, he hit
Hmm.
multiple batters, high pitch count in just 5 innings. Were you
Yeah.
concerned by that start?
Yes.
Yeah.
Um, they still won, so but they had to win. That was the 11 inning game, right? When the grand slam.
Okay.
So they had to
Okay,
win
gotcha.
late. And they had to come back in that game. That was another one where they came back in the ninth inning. I will say the change in between April and now is if we went down 2 runs in the first inning in April, we were like, write this game off. And
Yeah.
now if we go down 2 runs in the ninth or the first inning, we're like, that's fine. We got a lot of game left. So I think
Oh, yeah.
even when Suarez has a bad game or any of our pitchers, we still have that he can work it out. He can work out his own whatever's going
Right.
on because we have the talent to make up for it. I
Right.
think we're getting to the point in the season and the playoffs, it's harder to do that
Yeah.
because you really just want to win right away. You don't want to
Right.
have to come back and have that emotional roller
Right.
coaster. At least I don't. I fall,
Right.
so I'd
Speaking
rather
as a
not.
fan.
Yeah, right. Like for me, I don't want to be on a roller coaster.
Right.
So and Suarez is a roller coaster, and
Okay.
when he's really good and you're going
Right.
up that hill, you're like, this is great. Oh my God, he's an ace stud.
Yeah.
It's that, and I think it's a mental thing too. Like one bad inning, he's scrambled and needs to fix himself.
Right.
So I was concerned. The last two starts, I've been concerned.
Yeah.
But again, our worst pitcher isn't like horrific.
Right. He's serviceable, as you were pointing out, but
I love
this
that serviceable. Yeah.
Suarez, I think, he's got a 4 ERA and a high whip. He's got a
Yeah.
1.33 whip, which kind of tells me about the roller coaster that you're
Yeah.
talking about, the high walks, and
Mhm.
then, reading about the game, the hit batsman. So, if I had to make a guess, he'll straighten it all out versus the Yankees. We
Yeah,
probably won't get a hit.
of course. And that would be, and that's one of those things like I feel when you're playing a team like the Yankees or the first place Rays or, the Dodgers, when you can win as a pitcher, that probably affects your psyche so much more than just like, oh, I beat the A's or I lost to the A's or whatever. I don't care.
Yeah.
But when you get one of those high value teams, you're like, oh, my brain's on straight now.
Yeah.
Like,
Yep, exactly. Well, there's not much to say about without speculating about Yankee pitching. Healing Matters says Warren is pitching Sunday, possibly. Um, I don't know if that's good news or not, but I mean Warren. Um, the Red Sox offense is a
mhm.
thing of frightening, has become a frightening monster. It's a complete and remarkable turnaround from one of the worst units in Major League Baseball to one of the most productive.
Yep.
Um, let me see something. I
Crazy.
got a note here. It says since the June Yankees series with the Red Sox are 41 and 14, vaulting from 14 games below 500 to 13 games above 500.
Like,
How do you account for this? How does this happen? Did the Cora firing make that happen?
I don't think so because he
Okay,
was fired real early in the season, right? So,
right,
like, I think, I don't know. And that's concerning. Like, I feel like I should know. Like, we should all know what caused. I think it was the mix of guys. And so, Alex Cora, whom I love still
yeah,
to this day, I'm bummed he's gone. I want him in the building somehow, even if he's not coach. But Chad Tracy, who took over, was the coach in Worcester, the manager in Worcester, and he has a relationship with all these young guys, and not
okay,
even the young guys, all the guys who were injured in the past few years. They all cycle through these
right,
young lower levels, so they all get to work with him. So it's like I think he had a good relationship with them from the beginning, and he's
okay,
very even keeled. Um, I think I feel like this is a very Nicole problem. I sent my book in a long time ago, and in the acknowledgments, I thank Raffy Devers, Jaron Duran, and Tristan Cassis. And like Cassis, who knows what's going on with him? Raffy's obviously gone, and then
right,
Jaron Duran had some issues this season. And I think, but those personalities, I think, can sometimes overpower your team. And I think now the team has a little bit more of a level
right,
of personalities and talent. I think they're all, if they're not all talented in the same way, they're talented in different ways. Like Siegler's fast, Monasterio's fast, Contreras hits bombs, Willier hits
right,
bombs, Rafaela can catch anything in the outfield. And I think because they're all excel in different things,
right,
it makes the team excel. And and honestly, I just don't know. They could, I mean,
right.
I could be all wrong. They could just
Well,
all be on a heater.
yeah, Since June 25th, they average 5.4 runs per game, which is
Ugh,
second in MLB,
ugh,
and 6 runs per game through August.
ugh.
So they're just running,
After
they're
not
just
scoring
scoring
anything,
runs.
after
Yeah.
not scoring anything for two
Oh,
friggin' months,
tell
three
me about it.
months.
The Yankees went through what we call in Yankee land the boon swoon,
Yeah,
and this year it started in June, and I think it started in May when
yeah,
Judge got hurt. Not when he
yeah,
went on the list, but
yeah.
when he got hurt, because I think he was hurt, and I know he was hurt for
Oh,
a while
sure.
before he even said anything.
Yeah.
You
I could
know,
see that. He seemed
yeah.
like the type that
So,
would try to play
um,
through as much as he could, but
right. And another thing about the Red Sox offense, I was reading today Jen McCaffrey in The
oh yeah,
Athletic.
he's great.
She said the offense has fueled the Red Sox improbable run. They learned small ball,
Mhm.
better swing
God, so many
decisions.
bunts. Are you kidding me? I've never seen so many bunts on my Red Sox team. I'm like, oh, they're squaring up to bunt again. Who knew?
Yeah, I don't hardly know what it looks like anymore.
I know.
I,
Nobody
I guess
does.
Jazzy once in a while bunts, but
Yeah.
better swing decisions and
Mhm.
moving runners over.
Mhm.
Not hitting, swinging for the fences. They're moving the runners along.
Well,
Um,
a couple games ago, I think I was watching it on TV actually. Wilson Contreras bunted a runner over, and they're like,
oh my
why
God.
is Wilson Contreras bunting? But it
Yeah,
ended up being the winning run that he bunted over. So it's like, I think as a veteran, he just has that
right,
knowledge. And I think they even said on the broadcast, Tad Tracy said, I didn't tell him to do that. That was not a coach's decision. That was all Wilson at the
right,
moment. But you're right. I think these veteran players, and this goes back to my drive line rant, where they want you to swing at everything, swing at everything, swing and swing
right.
at it. And I think now the Red Sox, these past couple of months have said, you know what, let's get what we can, almost like death by a thousand cuts instead of
Right.
one big swing.
Yes.
Now, do I want Wilson bunting? No, I want him to take one big swing.
Oh
But
yeah.
if you put Tony Siegel's in there, let him bunt. I don't care. Like that's fine.
Right, right. Yeah, the sack bunts, the
Yep.
stolen bases, all that.
Mhm.
Um, Contreras and Abreu both have season highs,
I love them.
and the Red Sox lead the AL in homers with 51 in the second half.
What? I
That's what
didn't know that
that's
stat,
what
and
Jen
that's
said.
crazy.
Yep,
That's crazy too. After they couldn't hit the broadside of a barn for 2 months,
exactly.
and now they're leading. Oh God.
And also, the last thing she mentioned was the addition of Adley Rutschman. And I
Yeah.
thought maybe we could talk about him for a minute because that's a little bit getting ticklish there.
Yeah, it is 100% ticklish. I like that
Ticklish.
because
Yeah.
he offensively is not contributing 100%. He had a squeaker of a home run the other day and it barely got out. But from the stuff I read and hear, he's really good in the locker room and with the pitchers. Like
Yeah.
he's a pitcher's catcher,
Right.
which I love when they say that. Like, isn't every catcher a pitcher's catcher? But
Yeah.
he listens to his pitchers, which I think sometimes you probably can get some people. And I was fine with Marcelo Meyer being traded. Whatever, I don't care.
Right.
I was bummed about Carlos Narvaez getting traded,
Oh,
and
yeah.
you
I know
know,
him
as a
from the
Yankee fan,
Yankees.
you probably were bummed when he left you guys.
I
And
was.
yeah, he was one of the. I think is he hurt now? He might have been hurt. I don't remember. But
Wow.
so one for one catcher. I need him to be better for me to care about him as a
Yeah.
Red Sox fan. I feel like I don't know enough about him as a player yet because he's
Yeah.
he's infrequently in. And then between Connor Wong, who's been doing great things this season, it's hard to be like, well, let's put Adley in just to see what he's doing. But I want to like him. He seems like he'd be a very good Boston guy.
Right. And I think that's
We
probably
would,
true, but he's injured all the time.
yeah,
And I
exactly.
think
And
he's injured now.
they're talking about how they think that the Red Sox might have rushed him back because it was
Yeah.
their big trade piece.
Right.
And maybe he should have stayed down in Worcester for a couple more days, games.
Okay, I didn't
But I
get
do
that.
want,
That's
but I do
interesting.
want. He has been out of commission these past two games. He wasn't playing in Miami, so I don't know if he's injured again or if
Right.
it's kind of like he needs a head reset. And
Yeah.
I think it's going to be really fun tomorrow to see that lineup that comes out.
Oh,
Um,
it's yeah, I agree on both for both sides because
yeah, 100%.
yeah, it's going to be I think such a fun series,
Yes.
and lineups are always a fun thing in the Yankee universe. In just 2 months, the Red Sox boast the highest scoring offense in the league. 277 runs in 51 games. That's a phenomenal achievement
I can't.
that I can't believe happened and sucked.
I can't. And like, all I can think about is how depressed I was in April and May, and
I
even the beginning
know,
of June. I was like devastated, like so much that I'm like, I don't even want to listen to them. Like it was work
right?
to listen to them because I'm like, they're just gonna make me mad,
Oh
and I don't
yeah,
mind if they're bad because I mean I'm a Red Sox fan. Like
right.
I'm a Patriots fan. We've had bad years. We had a 4-10 season like one season ago, but it's
Yeah,
like you just want them to be like I'm going to use my favorite word today, and I'm so sorry. Serviceable. You just want them to
yeah,
be serviceable and
right.
not to break your heart in 40 different ways, which they did at the beginning of the season. Because even now, like yesterday, we lost the game by 4, I think. It was, they had errors. So you're like, oh, well, yeah, you're going to lose if you commit errors. So that's a good learning lesson, right? But I can't, like, this is what it's done to me. It's made me
Right.
speechless, and you and I know I am not speechless
Yes,
ever. My family's
exactly.
probably listening, and they're like, "Why is she talking so much? This is not
Oh,
her
the
show."
Red Sox will
Um,
probably win the World Series this year just because they
can
started
you
out
even
in the
right?
basement.
And then it's
I
the
mean, that's
then we get
baseball.
into the is there a conspiracy theory and the script is
Right,
written.
right.
I don't want to bring that up, but it could happen.
It could happen, and Buck Skullganging House is said I'm scared of the Red Sox, and frankly, so am I. But
And you know
the
what though? Like,
Yankees offense,
if you come to
let's talk about the Yankees offense for a minute. They've been heating up a little lately. They scored at least 7 runs in 3 straight games, so that's practically unheard of.
yeah,
Because prior to that, when the Yankees beat Toronto last Sunday, it was only the third time since the All Star break that they won by at least 5 runs. So runs have been not easy to
yeah.
get in Yankee land. They're terrible runners in scoring position. It's just been a frustrating year all the way around. I think for the Yankee offense,
And
but
what do you think the problem is? Like, do you think it's a coaching issue or it's a talent issue or
yeah, I mean I'm in therapy for that problem, but no, there's a lot of things going on. Aaron Judge is
right?
going down. Probably was the
Yeah,
biggest reason
Stanton.
um, for the swoon,
Yeah,
beginning when it did and lasting so long because without him in the lineup, it it definitely causes the weight to fall on other shoulders, and it definitely is not as productive.
yeah.
This Yankees group will hardly be known as Murderers Row. They're more like Jaywalkers Road or something. I mean, yeah, they hit home runs and but they're they're sloppy. They make a lot of errors. They overrun the bases. My God,
Mhm.
Jazz Chisholm overruns
Oh
the
my
base.
God.
Um, our young man that just came up, the phenom George Lombard Jr., he's made 5 errors in 5 games or something.
Yeah,
It's a
that's not great.
little bit of a learning curve for him, but he's going to be okay. But the offense definitely needed something at the deadline and we didn't get it.
Mm.
At the deadline,
Yeah,
we got
yeah.
Garcia Jr.
Mm.
and he has been very productive, and that I think all the Yankee fans agree that was a good acquisition. But
But it's one guy. Yeah.
Helio Ramos did not. He's not doing much for us.
Yeah.
And frankly, we didn't need him to begin with. Why that happened, I don't know. So the Yankee offense is just just a lot of things. I mean, the whole philosophy of hitting in the Bronx, in my opinion, is to blame. And on the one hand, they swing for the fences. Everybody, I think, the image of the Yankees is as murderers row.
Sure.
But they are going to swing for the fences. They don't play small ball. They're not going to move the runners over. And indeed, they do not do that well.
And that's what the Red Sox were doing at the beginning of the season, the same thing, swinging for the
Right.
fences every time. And
Yeah.
when they flipped that switch to playing small ball or playing in their
Yeah.
wheelhouse, like Contreras and everything,
Right.
you swing for the fences. But when you play like Jazz Chisholm or any of those younger guys, they should be playing the small ball to help those guys
Yeah.
get these big hits.
Oh, our pitchers have had to pitch with no run support,
Yeah.
and that we have, practically the best pitching both on the relief and on the starting pitching side is a miracle.
Well,
And given the defense and the sloppiness too behind these pitchers, it's been insanity for any offensive for an offensive year, and
mm-hmm.
that's what worries me going up against the Red Sox
Mm-hmm.
is that um, you guys are going to be playing checkers and we're going to be playing chess, but that playing different games doesn't make one of us a winner. It certainly
No.
isn't. Playing chess is definitely not the key to making us the winner.
Mm-hmm.
It's the series. I think is going to come down to pitching.
I think we're much closer to the split than we are to a sweep on either side. I don't
I
think
agree.
I think especially with the pitching being so lopsided versus the offense, I think we're closer to a split than a sweep. I don't think either
Yeah.
team's gonna sweep. And I agree with what Buck Skull just said. It's a playoff preview. And I'm not gonna lie, I want to win the wild card so that we can play in Fenway because we played in Yankee Stadium last year and that was no bueno. Also, selfishly, I have a friend who works concessions at Fenway, so I'd like her to get a little extra money in the off season. But that's if she's listening, Peggy, shout out.
Right, right.
She's a great. But yeah, I think it'd be interesting to have it go into because I feel like we've played in Yankee Stadium in the playoffs the past couple of, and also nobody wants to play the 3 game series. We want the 5 game series, Yankees Red Sox.
Right.
Let's get the good one going.
Yeah,
You know?
100%. Hope Boston Yankee wild card. Yeah, that's very, very, very likely.
Hmm.
And Buck Skulking Game says we need home field. Yes, we do.
And that's why
The Red
we need
Sox
home
are,
field.
yeah, we both need home field.
Right,
The
right.
Red Sox have a chance to leapfrog over the Yankees in
Hmm.
this series for first place in the AL wildcard standings. So something's at stake here.
Hmm.
Um, big wins on the Red Sox part, and the Yankees are going to find themselves in, trying to win a third wild card or something. I don't know. And the kind of season we've had, I feel like anything's possible.
Hmm.
But I
And
really do.
I'm
What?
loving how in the chat everybody's so scared of Boston. We're not used to this. I'm just like looking at it, I'm like, oh, the Yankees don't have the toughness. Oh no.
Yeah, well, you know what? I think that is coming from the months that we've had without
Sure.
productive offense. You
Right.
know,
And I
it's
think and if Judge comes back for the playoffs, I mean that flips the game
yeah,
right. That's a whole nother switch that you've got going
if
that we
Judge
don't
comes
have,
back.
you
Yeah.
know.
I mean, if Judge comes back.
Yeah. I heard he was taking batting practice the other
I
day.
heard September 10th has been one date that's thrown out there, September 8th. What is that? 2 weeks though?
Yeah.
I mean, yes,
Oh,
I want to see Judge as badly as the next guy, but
but not at the
does he
expense of
save the season?
yeah.
If we're teetering, does an injured player returning come
Yeah.
back and save the season?
Right.
If indeed it needs saving at that point,
Right.
which it probably won't. I'm probably being dramatic, but um, I want to thank all of you in the chat. Everyone's talking about the Rays.
Mhm.
Apparently today, the Rays are voting on the new stadium deal. I didn't know that. Yeah, it would be great if they had a new stadium. Hate playing there. Um, let's see what else we got.
Well,
The
you think you would like it. Didn't last year they played at the Yankees spring training stadium, so or ballpark?
right.
So you guys kind of had like double home field.
That's true. That is true. Healing Matters said respecting your opponent. Boston deserves respect. We also have an incompetent GM that hurts us. Thank you. To Healing Men's Hearts. You know, I usually wear my Fire Boone t-shirt
Oh, I
on
was
the
gonna
show,
ask,
but
I wanted to ask about how you feel about Aaron Boone because I obviously
yeah,
have feelings.
I'd like to Fire Boone, Fire Cashman.
I feel like Boone now is similar to how Cora was. That I
Yeah,
feel like they're of the same era because they both played at the same time, and I feel like they probably coach the same way. And maybe you're right. Maybe it would be and that's kind of
yeah.
what I was asking if it was a coaching thing to be like, hey, let's,
It's a lot of things. I mean, it's
yeah,
coaching, it's player development at the big league
yeah,
level. It's that I think is one of the bigger problems at the Yankees at the big league level is uh, players come up and
yeah,
regress, literally
yeah,
regress in their hitting when they get there. Anthony Volpe is an example. Clint
mhm,
Frazier. I mean, the
yeah.
list goes on. But anyway, thank you all today for joining us. I want to thank my guest, um, Nicole. You were, I want to say again, the Nicole from Baseball, Books and Banter. Is that correct?
Baseball, books, and banter.
Baseball, Books and Banter podcast. And I had a blast talking with her. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to wear your pinstripes with pride. Like, subscribe, and share. Share, share, share. Everybody needs this preview wisdom. So thank you so much. And we'll catch you next time when hopefully the Yankees will have beaten the Red Sox.
Or the
Boo
Red Sox will beat the Yankees.